have a great pleasure to have Professor Maiga to come over here from Canada to share some knowledge and some guidance about chatbot setting. I heard it yesterday a little bit about that. I really expect something new today. So let's welcome Professor Maiga from Canada. Okay? So maybe Professor Maiga would introduce yourself a little bit to ours. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today, and it's a great pleasure to be here to, sharing some of our research with all of you. And in any case, if you need a Chinese translation, please do let me know because I can speak in both. So depending on your needs, in any case, if you don't understand any part of my talk, you can let me know. So my name is Maiga Chang. Actually, I was born in Taiwan. I was attending the undergraduate program, graduate program, PhD program, and even I did a postdoc for 6 years in Taiwan before I went to Canada in 2007. So right now I have already been in Canada for 16 years. So this is actually this year is my sabbatical year again, the second sabbatical. Every 6 years we will have a sabbatical year. So anyway, because I don't know about your background, so I don't need to talk about anything of this. But we do have a kind of a society like Asia Pacific Society for Computers and Education. We also have IEEE technical community on learning technology. Sorry about that. It should be community because IEEE changed the name last year. I didn't change my slide either. So in any way, if you are interested in how to use technology to help students learning, how to help teachers teaching more efficiently, then you can consider at least these two organizations or society. We also have an International Association of Smart Learning Environment in Canada, and this one is focusing on smart learning environment, which means artificial intelligence, intelligent tutoring, and also smart classroom, and so on. So in any case, if you are interested in, I would say, volunteering in any of the organization, you can also let me know. So I think before I start my talk, I would like to talk about my research goal, my dream. So first of all, my research goal is trying to make computers and a device to understand user, and then provide users what we call personalized and adaptive service. You may consider why we say personalized and adaptive. These two words sounds very similar, right? But actually they are not. Personalized means if you are willing or wanting to take an English course, that is your choice. And also I want to pass an exam, that is another choice. And I like to use game or video to learn something. That is your preference. So those kind of things, they are personalized, including your misconception, what you have done before, what you don't understand before. That is personalized. So according to these kind of things, we can provide you service which can help you learn better or can train you better. However, think about that. I like to play game. That is what you can tell that here. I have Discord rather than using other software. So actually our research group is using Discord as our VIP research group's server. So even you like to play game, and right now you are learning English or French, and your goal is perhaps learning how to reading, how to writing, how to speaking in French or English. But when our system found you are walking on the street, should we provide you air for learning? No, right? We don't want you to, hit the pole or be hit by car. So that is adaptive. Also, if the device right now detects that you are on the bus, should we provide you activity like speaking? It's not making sense because you are on the bus and come on, the noise, the environment, and the system cannot detect how you speak in French or in English, right? So when the service detects your situation, or okay, you are using laptop or mobile phone or tablet, that is adaptive. So this is what our research, my research is doing. We want to provide the service based on your needs, based on your situation, and also the context, the environment, and so on. But how can we do that? If we want to know you, we need to get the data from the log, or read records, or chat. Okay, let's talk about chat and keystroke. So, chat means when you are typing, when you are sending message to another guy or lady with text or line or any kind of software. With natural language processing, we can understand what you are talking. We can also know your frustration and the question you are asking. So that is what we can get from chat. But what is keystroke? Keystroke means when you are typing, no matter which words you are typing, actually your fingers are flying on the keyboard. And everyone will have a different keystroke dynamics. Just like when you play piano. Even two people, they can play the same piano. And when they play the same song, if you are good enough, you can, hear the difference. But piano is a little bit too easy to learn or to emulate. So in that case, if you consider keystroke, let me give you making computers this sentence. Everyone, if you type this, your keystroke dynamics will totally be different because we are recording when you hit the key, when you release the key, how much time you will fly from one key to another. So depending on your fingers, depending on your habit, actually, and also where you put your hands on the keyboard, actually, everyone will be different. So think about this as a kind of a biometrics information, like fingerprints, facial recognition. But actually, you have already watched so many television dramas, you see movies, Mission Impossible. You know how easy to, replicate a person. So, for example, when we use fingerprint, I will buy you a drink, bring a glass of wine to you, and then when you drink, I put that away and get your fingerprints. But the keystroke dynamics, you cannot. Because every time when you log into a system, I can give you totally different sentence. So that is the unique things. You don't need to remember password or other things. So what keystroke dynamics can do for next? Emotion. You know that when you are very angry at someone, like your boyfriend, like your girlfriend, when you are chatting with him or her, you will use totally different keystroke dynamics than your usual way. And in the most of cases, you will use a lot of backspace because you change your words. Okay, not that you eat your words, but you very angry. No, I shouldn't say that. Change it in other words. So the keystroke dynamics can do two things. First one, when you go home, when you do assignments at your home, when you participate in discussion in the discussion forum, we can collect your keystroke. And then when you do exam, if we have a computer-based exam, we can also collect your keystroke. And what will happen? I will say, oh, your keystroke dynamics shows you are not the one who posted the article or do the assignment, because when you do the exam, your keystroke dynamics, because we have your ID, we know, oh, you are you, but your keystroke dynamics doesn't match the earlier assignment. Perhaps you asked someone to help you to post the article or write the assignment. And also, when you are writing the exam, we will be able to know, oh yes, you answered correctly for this question. However, according to keystroke dynamics, we know you are so nervous at that moment. Probably you are not so confident in your answer. You just guess and you make a lucky guess, you got the marks. So in that case, we can provide the teachers this kind of information to let him or let her know that someone, although most of people they are answering this question correctly, but they don't really understand why. They just guess and they got it. So in that case, I have many different applications, including the tourism, including the hospital system, and so on, of course, including education and gaming. My dream is I want to create a virtual world where everyone can join and you can talk to others. And maybe you will get some learning quests from others. You can interact with others. You get some knowledge from others. But you don't know if this one or that guy or that lady is a real person or a computer. That is my dream. Okay, I need to, first of all, making sure everyone knows that my first journal paper regarding virtual creature is in 1995. Matrix, the movie, is not in 1995. You can double check with their time. So many people say that what I'm saying actually is just like the Matrix, but actually you can see my publication. In 1995, I have already proposed the virtual creature because I believe, actually, I'm still believing. Right now, actually, we are not a real human. Okay, but anyway, so how to do that? The first thing I wanted to do within 5 years or 10 years is trying to have a virtual companion. I can give you virtual companion when you get grade 1, first grade. And then the virtual companion can live inside of your laptop, your mobile device. And when you do anything, it will go with you. It will watch the video you have watched. It will see the website you browsed. It will read the course material that you are also studying on. And then it can become your lifelong friends, mentor, because he or she knows you. So when you are getting 18 years old, you say, should I have a girlfriend or boyfriend? Probably you can ask him or her on your device, and he or she will say, no, please, remember when you were at the 7th grade, you met someone and what happened? So that is a kind of virtual creature, and they will grow up just like you. So this is you can consider 5 to 10 years dream. So I hope when I retire, I can reach that goal. So in any way, today I would like to talk about three things. The first thing is not a visualized environment, but a kind of research we have done already before, and that is a conversation agent we call Guardian, living in Maiga world, which is our massively multiplayer educational game platform. So, I don't know how many of you have ever watched a television drama called Uploads. No? Too bad. You should watch that. Very short series of drama talking about in the future when you die, actually you can upload your everything to the cloud, and of course you need to pay. So if you want to have a regular water, that is fine for free, but if you want to have a champagne or you want to have a red wine, you need to pay for it, just like in the real life. And in that kind of a system, because you are a person uploaded to the cloud, you're living there, so actually they have a customer service representative, and they are a real human being to play the angel. So at the end, we decided our conversation agent called Guardian rather than angel to avoid the collision of that. So the second one and the third one, actually, they are environment that we created for teachers to bring students to interact with what you call chatbot, but we call conversation like an NPC, not player control character. So these two, they are environment. The first one is just a kind of demonstration, show you how we can do this. So the first one is Maiga World. Maiga World is a multiplayer educational game platform. Everyone can create their world, virtual world in here. And you can register an account for free. If you want to have a teacher account to create your own virtual world, you can let me know so I can create the virtual the teacher account for you. So if you go to maigaworld.gameserver.ca, there is a hyphen, a dash here. You can see this. So basically, the user interface, we provide English, traditional Chinese, simplified Chinese, but when you create a word, you can use any language. Students, they can also interact with each other with any language because this is a web-based system and we can do that. So when you click on play now, you will see something. So let me show you. You will have your own avatar and you can travel around the world. Remember this word or other words are created by anyone, by teacher and so on. And then you can pick up the quest. So remember, you can also create the quest. You can create the NPC, you can create items, you can create a reward in this Maiga world. So basically, this is an open environment. Everyone can create everything. And your quest chain can be tree-like, can be network-like, depending on your design. And also you can travel. So when you travel, you need energy here. But the energy requires you to eat, consume food. And when you purchase food, you need to have money. And how money come from? The money comes from you need to solve a quest. So all the quests could be a learning activity or assignment. And you can also talk to others. Because this is a massive multiplayer game, so everyone will have their own avatar and you can talk to others in any language. No need to be English, you can talk in Japanese, anything. So this is the Maiga World version 3.0 we already have. And in this case, you can see that the teachers, they can create their own virtual world very easily. They can create a 10 by 10, 8 by 8, 100 by 100, depending on their needs. But of course, I always suggest to create small words and then connect them together. So in that case, when people they go to the side of this word, they will be pointing to another small word. In that case, you can maintain your small words easily. But if you want, you can still create a very huge word directly. And you can create your own NPC, what do we call now, player control characters. They can have their location, they can have their items they can sell to players, or they can give the quest item to the player, and so on. So, right now, in the Maiga world, you can see we have a bag, we have players, we have a quest, we have a chat. So if you take a look at it, you can see the player we have you choose whether or not you want to be human beings or an orc or a dog or an elf, and you can choose anything like your hair color and other things. And you have your characteristics. Right now the characteristics is not so important. The only important what we call the attributes is your strengths. And perhaps your, I think the strength will influence your carrying power, which means you can bring more items with you in your bag. But for other things like attacking monster, right now we don't have this kind of function because we consider this is an educational game. We didn't consider to fight with monster yet, but actually we are planning to do that. So the other thing is you can take a look at it here. You will see that you have your experience point, you have your role, your profession. So remember, because this is an educational game, so everyone can create their virtual world. They can create a different profession. Each profession can map to a certain level of something like programming in Java, like English reading level 1, something like that. So when you get experience for your profession, at the end you can level up your profession. And so, which means from profession we can understand your knowledge. And from this level, we can understand how good you are in that kind of knowledge or skill set or domain. So you can see inside of your bag, you can have items. Of course, you can upload your own icon for the item. And you can also see what quest this student have already picked up. And all the records are in the database. So we will be able to know whether or not you pick up a quest and drop. Pick up and drop. Because you think that the quest is too difficult for you. Okay? And of course you can chat with others. Now, what we want to do, this has already been published since 2010. So basically we have version 1, version 2, and version 3. So now, the next thing is we add this guardian here. Right now, if you sign in, you can see this guardian. If you don't like this guardian, you can change the guardian's hair, anything. If you even don't like this guardian is a human being, you can choose to create a new one, or you can choose all guardian from all guardian or the popular guardian, Alberta. In that case, we will be able to know which guardian will be more popular, more be welcoming by others. And in the future, each of the guardian, they will have their own personality. So, and also maybe skill set. So in that case, we will be able to know, okay, this guardian is a 5-star guardian, this one is 4.3 only, something like that. And in that case, we can understand how to make a guardian or conversational agent better based on players, their choice. So when you talk to the guardian, you can ask the question regarding the course. Right now, no matter which word you choose to be born, all the guardian can only answer you the question regarding English writing, because right now we don't have any other courses in the Maiga world yet. I mean, the knowledge, we don't have other courses yet. So basically, no matter where you are, you can talk to your guardian, you can ask something like, what should I avoid while writing in English? Something like that. And then the guardian will talk you back. And how we do this, that is another topic, that is another research called Ask for Summary. If you are interested, you can go to our website and take a look. But here I don't spend time to introduce you how to do that. So the idea is simple. When you ask anything, your question will be the question will be sending to bridge, and the bridge will use our Ask for Summary research outcome to provide you the summary and send back. So that's this kind of workflow actually is asynchronous. So your web page will not reload, and you will not see any difference until the guardian talk you back. So, yeah. Right now we are still working on this, and right now we are using 2.5 behind the scene. And in any case, because we always have a VIP role, that is the VIP research groups research outcome workshop webinar every year. So in December we will have this again. And in any case, if some of you are interested, you can let me know so I can put your name and email on the list. So when we have this VIP role 2022, I can notify you. And the past VIP role 2021, you can take a look, and you can also go to our YouTube channel. We have everything there. So now we want to visualize the environment for building for building a chatbot. Why we want to do that? Actually, we have this research due to COVID. During COVID, the main situation is the nurse, the caregivers, they need to interact with patients or the elders to get their situation, to get their information properly. But you know, everyone is a human being. Some people, they have a personality which may make you very difficult to get the information you need. So that is why we want to create this visualized environment to build the chatbot. Each of the chatbot or virtual person, virtual patient is a person or an elder. So the nurse, they need to interact with those people to get the information they need before they can help them. So the administration level person, they can see the chat log and they can understand, oh, you are doing not so right because when you are talking to this old man, you need to start with something first and then the other thing. You shouldn't talk to him or her like that way. So that is what we want to do. But then when we talk to the professor in Singapore, they say they are teaching Chinese. And when they teach Chinese, each unit will have a subject. And they wanted to ask their students to create a chatbot with those kind of information they taught. And then teachers can talk, can interact with those chatbots created to understand whether or not you put everything you learned from class to the chatbot. So basically at the end, we found that this system can be used in both ways. Either the knowledge people, they create a chatbot for the learner to practice and learning, or the learners create a chatbot, adopt all the knowledge and skill they learn, and then let the teachers to interact with those chatbots to see whether or not the chatbot is working. For example, I'm teaching right now, if I'm teaching small talk, so I teach you how to do a small talk. and then I ask you to create a chatbot applying everything I taught in the class. And then when your chatbot is ready, I talk to the chatbot and I found that when I say hello, you didn't get me back. When I say how is the weather, you didn't get me back. So I will know that you are not really learning what I taught in the class. So this is our visualized environment. If you go to the vp.vipresearch.ca, you can register an account easily as a teacher, student, or users. So basically, you can create your chatbot by putting the parcel here. It's like a user say hi, and then chatbot will say hello. Or you can change that. For example, you can put the user say here, and the chatbot say here. Okay, sorry about that. This is the same video, but it's just a change in the name. And then here, if I say hey, in that case, the chatbot will choose randomly from what you put directly. And of course, we have a weight here, so you can also attach a weight parcel piece. So you can decide, most of the time I will say this, and in the other side, I will say that. So this is optional. So if I say hello admin or hello Mr. Admin, that's all fine. So you can see, because this is optional. So basically, here is a matching anything. So hey, matching anything, and the chatbot will say how are you, and match what. So in that case, if we say hey admin, and then it will say how are you admin, because that is what you decide to do. So yeah, and then this is match anything, and I don't know what that means, but I don't know what will happen, but which means no matter what kind of you say, it can be done. And you can see that you can create a very large conversation by using this way. And by the way, there are some icons here. Here is text or talk to the chatbot. The other one is copy, and the other one is share. So basically, multiple people you can share to edit the same chatbot at the same time. And also for teachers, they can have a class code, class name. In that case, students, they can use class code to join the class, and then they can see their classmates' product. And when you are talking to the chatbot, you will find the chatbot will thinking, typing, and respond. Sometimes you will say, why is it so slow? It is not slow. Actually, we can do real time. But we choose to not to do that because we consider this is a virtual person. There is no way for a real person to reply you immediately within 1 second, right? They need to type. So actually in the chatbot user interface, not using a property page, you can decide how fast you want this chatbot to react. So that is something I want you to know. And for personal tab means you want to put some personal things, information for your chatbot. Okay, this research is not bug-free yet. I need to tell you that. And by the way, everything you see, including the earlier conversation agent and this one, it is 3 months product by one person. Okay, so I need to emphasize this in case you wonder how many people are involved. Actually, they only have, each of the project only have one person doing for 3 months. Done. So I will suggest you use this kind of standard to push you to how can you do this within 3 months. And also, it is not support all write script functionality yet. Why we created this kind of system? because we don't want you, or we don't want the teachers, or we don't want the hospital administrative person to learn what is write script, or AIML, artificial intelligence markup language, or natural language processing technique like N-gram is part of speech. We wanted to provide a very simple way for you to create your own chatbot without understanding anything like that. There are another two limitations. The first one is actually no matter which chatbot you choose to talk to, actually their brain, all of the chatbot's brain have already downloaded to your computer. Okay, so that is a kind of a limitation because we don't want to do that. We only want to download a particular chatbot's brain to your computer when you choose to talk to. But right now, actually, we download everything. And also, right now, chatbot's brain is working based on what you decide. So you need to have the puzzle piece created so the chatbot can respond to you. So if you don't have the puzzle pieces moved to your screen, unfortunately, it will say, sorry, I don't understand. Okay? This is good and bad. Okay, let me talk about the bad. And the bad thing is, people, they will know they are talking to chatbot. But the good thing is, you can making sure that the learners can do what you expected them to do. Remember, we are talking about using this chatbot not for customer service, but using this chatbot to train learners. So you don't want to train a learner, let's say English speaking. Right now I'm teaching you how to order order in McDonald's. So do you think it will be appropriate for you to go to McDonald's and say, please give me a pizza? No, that is definitely right. This is McDonald's. They don't sell pizza. So see, some people, they always ask me, why don't you use artificial intelligence or something so people they can speak whatever they want? Yeah, but you need to remember we are teaching. So we don't want the people to learn incorrectly. For example, in Italian restaurant, to order a steak with a medium rare. That is not making sense at all. So right now we are still doing human creation, but we consider one solution is we can have a recorder putting in front of the desk of McDonald's and record their conversation. And then use speech-to-text technology to automatically create this kind of chatbot blocks. In that case, we can keep this visualized block. We can also making sure that the blocks, they will cover most of the situation in the real world, in real situation. So we have already published one paper in the metaverse and artificial companion in education and society. And if you are interested, the next Maiga will be in hybrid mode in next June. So in any case, if you want to join that, attending that, you can also consider. The next one I want to share with you is speaking-based conversation quest. You can understand, we collaborate with a Brazilian English teacher, and they think the most difficult things when you are teaching in English, you can teach them reading, writing, listening, but it is very difficult to teach them speaking. Because some people, they are so afraid to talk in the class. And also maybe the Brazilian teacher says that they, even themselves, they are not confident in talking in English. because they don't think that they will talk English correctly. So that is the problem. So one solution for that is students, they can hire 2 native speakers to talk to them every Friday in the afternoon at the Starbucks. But not everyone they can find a native speaker. And the second, sometimes those kind of native speakers is just like a tutor, you need to pay for that. And the people, they don't have money. The second way is you can do the written conversation in MMORPG or MMOG. So basically that is a multiplayer online game. And when you play that kind of game, especially in United States server or North America server, then most of people they will speak in English, and then you can practice your listening and speaking skills there. However, some players they may still not be the native speaker, and also they have their own terminology in the community. So when you really learn, you probably will learn a little bit incorrectly, like this one. GG. I believe most of people in Taiwan know this term, right? Because you play the different kind of mobile game, and you definitely has a wrong definition in your mind, because GG means good game, and that is coming from a sports shoe, and usually GG is talked by winner. But in mobile game, you think GG is talked by loser. And also, you consider GG is, oh, I'm doomed, we are lost, and so on, we give up. But no, actually GG is good game. Usually, people, they will say, you play a good game. And usually it's a person coming from the winners. So that is totally different when you are using this term in the real world. So you will not say this word in North America, because that is totally not very correctly for them. So in this case, we want to provide a no pressure environment for people to practice their speaking skill in their own and with their computer. So you don't need to worry about your speaking or your tongue has already been heard by someone else in your class. So that is what we do. And the teachers, they can create or co-create the conversation tree for different topics. So in our case, our Brazilian teacher, she created like 8 or 10 different units for different topics for her students to practice. And then students need to talk to the NPC. They cannot type, they can only talk. The only way for them to interact with NPC is to talk. So in this case, you can click on any NPC and then it will talk. Sorry about that. I randomly okay. So you can see you can click on an NPC and then the NPC will say something, and then you will need to click on this to start talking to the NPC. Yeah. And once you finish your speaking and talking experience, you will get a marks, 76.66 point. So that is what the students, they can do. And then, of course, you can go to conversation.megaworld.gameserver.ca. The reason why this system is on MegaWorld, because this quest is one of the quest type in MegaWorld. So teacher, they can create a quest with this conversation type in the MegaWorld. So when students create again, moving around, make some NPCs, they will be able to talk to the NPC. So for teacher, they can create their conversation tree. You can see any of the conversation tree you can create with a topic, your title, your language, so and the label. So basically, right now in the system you can see different language, but I need to let you know that this system supports every language. And then you can say NPC's color, player's color, so what is the first sentence, what can I do for you? And then you can start it, and then you can start to add the conversation. So in that case, when the students talk back to the computer, the system will try to find a match. And you can also see here is the dash, which means the link. So you can have so many different conversation tree, and you can also edit that. You can also create an NPC and choose a conversation tree that the NPC can talk. And you can test it by yourself before you release to your student. So that is what we have already done. And if you wanted to try, you want to become a teacher to create your own conversation tree, you can also let us know. I can create a teacher account for you. But for student account, you can directly register online. So this is what you are seeing, and this is a share icon, which means you want to share with others, so others can also edit. And you can edit, you can copy this, and you can paste it. And these are the NPC's name and the conversation. So in a conversation, you can see, you can create as complex as you want. And you can see some of them, they have this dash, means they will link to another conversation branch. So basically, you can making sure that your conversation can be smoothly. So you can connect one to the other. So if you want to try, you can go to conversation.maiga server, and you can also take a look at all video at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/8VIP research group. And the only limitation here is for teachers, they can use any browser to create that. For students, unfortunately, they can only use Chrome, because this is speech to text functionality only Chrome has. Even Microsoft Edge and Brave, they are Chromium browser. They cannot use speech to text functionality because Google doesn't allow them to use. So the only browser right now, students, if they want to speak, then they need to use Chrome. Of course, if there is any other plugin they want to install, they can do. But with Chrome, they don't need to install anything. So we also have the papers published earlier. So you can see this is 2018-2019 research. Right now, we are not really improve anything. So we are trying to find a collaboration to see the effectiveness. We already have an unpublished paper talking about different teachers in Brazil and Taiwan, how they perceive this kind of systems usability, but we haven't published this study yet. So, in any way, once again, I will try to promote our YouTube channel, because right now we only have 77 subscribers, and I hope to have 100, because if we have 100 subscribers, we can change our name. But so yeah, you are encouraged to just click on subscribe, and then when it becomes 100, later you can unsubscribe. I don't mind. I just needed to have some people to make sure that we can change the link's name. But in any case, if you want to use this new handler, actually this new handler is starting from November 5th. So YouTube decided to have this handler, so you can also use this handler to go to our YouTube channel. We have many playlists, so you can take a look at our game, our conversation, our AI, and machine learning, and other research results. So in any way, this is what I have done in this talk. And all of them, you can see there is the link. You can try it, and then you can give us some kind of feedback. In any case, if some of you coming from like electronic department or computer science or information system department, you are also welcome to have a collaboration with us on developing a monster fighting subsystem for Maiga world. Something like Final Fantasy. We want to have a random encounters. So when you move in the world, you will encounter some monster and you need to fight that. So for others, if you want to have the pilot study and evaluation on any of these systems, you can also let me know. So in any way, if you want to see other of my research, because my research is too many, this is just 3 of them, you can go to my website /outcome, or you can go to for the advanced learning technology is vipresearch.ca, or game-based learning, that is gameresearch.ca. So in that case, you will be redirected to this particular section. So thank you so much to attend this talk, and I hope it will help. And in any case, if you have any question, you can ask.
Yeah, I think you have prepared some questions, right? Yes, please, go ahead. Group leaders?
Your dream about what living AI that's very like living beings like. But do you have any research regarding to that kind of AI? Because all I see is about most of them are about education.
Thank you so much for the great question. So first of all, I need to emphasize one thing to all of you. You are brainwashed by our commercial society or industry. Okay, so what is AI for you? That is a very, very good question. Actually, in the real academic world, we have 2 fields. The first one is artificial intelligence. The second one is machine learning. Okay, now, neural networks, I think some of you may have heard that, all fuzzy. So do you think neural network or fuzzy is AI? Actually, no. See? It is a totally different idea from you and our academic world. Because artificial intelligence has already 60 years history. And artificial intelligence, we are emphasizing 2 things. First one, expert system. Second one, natural language processing. Machine learning, we have neural network, fuzzy, evolutionary computation, and so on. Anything about mathematics or, except statistical natural language processing. Otherwise, they are machine learning. So these 2 fields actually, for a long time, they are not really like each other. Artificial intelligence field, they say, come on, you just use mathematics and you say this is a neural network learning by itself. That is black box. That is not really artificial intelligence. Neural network machine learning says, come on, you use the expert system, the rule-based. What that is not really intelligent. Until I would say perhaps when Google it has a so-called AlphaGo. AlphaGo is a kind of chasing system, and Google used both. Google put them into the same system. After this successful story, now, okay, still we have two factions, but they say, okay, perhaps we can use a neural network. Perhaps we can use a transformer. So if you understand what is transformer, actually transformer is coming from natural language processing. But right now, transformer is using in neural network. And natural language processing, right now, some people, they use neural network to train to predict the next word. But this is just a start. So basically, these two fields is still a little bit not so close to each other. So now come back to your question. So basically, all of my research, they are using natural language processing. So when you say I'm not doing AI, I am so hurt because actually we are, but your AI is different from our AI. When you really take an AI course, for example, like in my university, one of the professors is teaching AI, and in 1 year he was on sabbatical, so I helped him to cover his course. So many students, they come to me saying, we come here to learn like neural networks or something. Why are you teaching natural language processing? I say, that is AI. We didn't change our course at all. But that is a different perception. What you think is actually what we call machine learning. Or you can say computational intelligence. So before machine learning is popular, actually we call AI and CI. Artificial intelligence and computational intelligence. Computational intelligence means use your computer, use your computing power, neural network to compute. That is what I call computational intelligence. But now, because machine learning is so popular, so actually no one is talking about computational intelligence. Most people right now talking about machine learning. So you can consider machine learning is some kind of derived from computational intelligence. But if you check about the textbook in the past, it's called computational intelligence book. But right now, if you check on Amazon, probably you cannot find many new computational intelligence books. Right now, you probably can find a lot of machine learning textbook. But again, I am someone who standing on both boats because I have research using machine learning to train computers. First of all, to train computers to understand the activity of daily living, like a falling situation, and so on. Also, we use machine learning to train the computer to understand which fish is Ken, which fish is Tom. Okay, you probably don't understand why we want to do that, but in the real world, we have many farmers. They have a lot of fish tank, and when fish is growing up, they want to move this fish to another tank, so they will not consume all of the foods. But they cannot do that, so they actually want to have a kind of sensor IoT technology. So when computer recognize the fish size, it can automatically, turn on or move up the gate. So the larger fish small fish can go to another tank and get food there, and the large fish cannot go there, something like this. And in that case, we can also identify this fish's growth history. So in the future, if you want to have an RFID tag on the fish saying that, this fish born in 2002, and then it's grow up to 2 kilograms in 3 months, something like that, then you can do this. So so that is what we have done a lot of neural networks and machine learning research. And personally speaking, my master degree and the PhD degree thesis is about evolutionary computation, which means genetic algorithm and so on. So my research actually is starting from computational intelligence. But then I also do the artificial intelligence, and right now I'm sitting on both board. But so just want to let you know that your AI is a little bit from our AI, and we are doing AI. But in this research, in this talk, in the most of the case, we are talking about natural language processing, and that is the major area in AI. Hope you can understand. Sorry about that. Any question?
Your questions can be both in English or Chinese, okay? You can raise questions in Chinese, no problem.
Yeah, I can switch my channel. So
yeah, someone's there, okay, please. Yes, you. Microphone.
Professors, thank you for the talk. You said that you dream to have a virtual companion for everyone, but my concern is, will this greatly affect the structure of society?
Okay. All right. Very good question. Two things here. The first one is how it will change our structure. I mean, how it will change our society structure. I don't know. I cannot imagine that yet because we don't have it. Many people, they ask me questions about AI, especially when, if my memory is correct, Google. 2 months or 3 months or 4 months ago, someone from some, I think, a developer of a system jumped out saying that they have an artificial intelligence system which can be said 7 years old, and he shows every talk, every chat with the chatbot, and prove this chatbot has intelligence, and then he got fired, I think. So many people, after they read that news, they come to me and ask this. First of all, I need to let you know that we are doing AI, we are doing machine learning. Even myself, I need to tell you, we are not there yet. A chatbot can talk to you back. It's just because, right now, it's just because they use statistical methodology behind the scenes. So when you say, how are you? They say, oh, how are you? What is the percentage? Oh, okay, the best match is this sentence. And then they give it to you. So they probably can memorize what you said to him or her. But you need to remember, right now, computer actually doesn't know what exactly you are talking. They just recognize the word. And what is apple? Apple is a kind of fruit. And can you say that by saying the definition of apple means this system has a combination or conscience? It will be very difficult to say that. So right now, at this moment, actually, we don't have that kind of technology yet. In fact, someone, I think in 20 years ago, he said, as long as we are still using this kind of computer, we will not have a real artificial intelligence. If we are still inside of this box, we will not really create the artificial intelligence. So my question will be, even we don't have the virtual companion yet, but do you really know how many Facebook users they are real? Right? So basically, everyone is behind the screen, behind the internet. So that is what we say. We don't know whether or not the typing is made by a dog. But so for me, I always say that because we cannot do that yet. So no worry about that. AI will not take over the world yet. And but if we don't take that step, we will not be able to do anything. So, and also, if we have so much concern to block our movement toward to that kind of research direction, that will be, I will say, I think there is a Chinese words saying that. Anyone know? There is a 成语. What? Not this one. Because you are so afraid to have a fire in your house, so you will not rest. Yeah, something like that. So, okay, for anyone who don't understand, he said that because you are so afraid to choke, so you don't eat. So that is what I will say. I will not stop just because of worry, and actually I don't think I want to have that goal, but actually I don't. Right now okay. Should I say my age? Okay, I am 50 years old. So I don't know whether or not I can finish my job, finish this dream within the next 15 years. So before I retire. So I will still try. And in any case, if I success, I hope that in the future, the virtual person or virtual people, they will call me the father. But in any way, because I am not resistant to try to do that. Of course, just like you have seen a lot of science fiction movies and novels, like Isaac Asimov. I like this author very, very much, and you can see his dream, and he also put a lot of rules, actually 3 rules, to making sure that computers or robots will not take over the world or harm the human beings. But anyway, sorry about that. This is out away from your question. But yes, I will still do that. I don't mind, and I don't think I can really affect the human society's structure yet. But if I can a little bit reach to that goal, I will consider what you said today to make sure that it will not happen. Thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Good afternoon, Professor. Okay, thank you very much. The speech is very interesting. I love it. My question is about, if you talk about the AI or machine learning, actually we have many kind of movie that's very afraid about the robot, like Transformer or Terminator or maybe Matrix. This is the show us the war among human and robots. And sometimes we see that we feel that this movie is just imaginations. But actually right now, if you're aware that we have already fight, there's a war between human and the robots, for example, in the industry or in manufacture. They change the needs of humans to the robots like in manufacture, so they decrease the employ from the human. So I think this is a war. We have to, yes, we have to win with this kind of conditions. So my question is, what should we do as yes, after this, of course we are employed, right? So what should we do, or what should we learn so we can survive in the industrial conditions? Thank you very much.
It's a very good question. Actually, I think that all of the questions is addressing what we call philosophy. So fortunately, I am a PhD, which means I have a philosophy degree. So, but in any way, I think that is a good question. But you need to think about it from two ways. The first way is what you mentioned right now about like the robot or computer to replace human beings, humans' job. So the first thing I will say is we should brand those high-level management people, because that is their decision. Okay, why they make that decision? Because it can save them money, and the robot will not complain, and they don't need to pay insurance to robot. So they have many reasons to do that. But of course, a good boss or a good leader, he or she may also consider the humanity part, right? But you also need to remember there are so many stories told us that those kind of people or those humanity sort people, they usually will be fired or kicked out from the board, right? So the problem is because the company and the industry, they want to have a profit, so they will do that. Now, consider from another way. Do we have all of the people, they really want to do the hard working? Or they are just saying they want to make money, but they want to have an easier job. So can we have the robot to do something which a human being really cannot do? And then let the human being can do what they can really do. So from the other angle, we will say that what is the difference between us and the robot is, for example, creativity. And also, we have our thought. We will not just doing things by rules. Sometimes we will consider. In many movies, you will see that the robots will do things. I will get you arrested without consider anything. But maybe the real police officer will say, I understand this situation, so I will let you go this time, but not the next time, something like that. So the person will learn. So this is the difference between what we call rule-based, expert system, AI, and our human being. So I will say, first of all, we need to consider what we can really do, and what we can do, but the robot cannot do. And also, you also need to consider that even robot can do many things, and it's things you don't need to pay them for insurance or other things, but you need to pay, for example, $1 million for a machine. But I can hire 10 people for 100,000. So that is another story. So when the robot is so expensive, and to do this particular job, it cannot do like us. We can do many things. We can become a Uber Eats delivery guy. We can become a Uber driver. We can We can, when we are in the school or when we are in front of the computer, we can do typing. So basically, each of us, we can do a lot of things, but a robot usually can do one thing or two, but you need to pay a lot to purchase. So that is something we can consider. But yes, I know we are still not occupied by robot yet. But just like you say, in manufacture situation, because those kind of works can be replaced by robot easily. For example, teachers probably will not be replaced by robot or AI or computer yet. But some kind of heavy job maybe replaced easier by the machine. But yeah, just like right now we have a car, and in the past we have a horse. So what we can do, that will be a very big question. And also, that is out of my pay grade, because I cannot, even what I want to do, I cannot do, because we are not at that level. You can ask who bought the Twitter. You can ask him to do something. But what he did, the first thing is firing people. If you watch the news, I think that is the news, right? 1/3 of employees, they receive something, especially in Japan. So because I was in Japan for the last 30 days, and I watched that news a lot. 1/3 of the people, they receive an email from their boss saying that they are no longer needed. They are human beings, and they are not replaced by AI or machine. So anyway, I'm sorry about, probably I cannot really answer your question properly, but I would say this is a very important question, but also a philosophy. And I think we need to have very kind people or very thoughtful people in the high rank to make a proper decision for that. Thank you.
Thank you for your talk. I was really impressed. I have 2 questions. The first one is that earlier you talked about like using biometric data like keystroke to get data and help the teacher to determine stuff. I want to know if you think that this biometric data is considered as a breach of privacy, and if these data could be used or manipulated to work against us, like to discriminate. Yeah.
Okay. Very good question. Before I answer this question, when you unlock your iPhone, when you use your fingerprint to unlock the iPhone, do you think it's violated any privacy or something? That is my question. For me, actually, I don't use fingerprint to unlock my phone, except the iPhone, because that phone is given by my university, and they require me to do that. So I was forced by our high-rank person. So, but in any other phone, I don't use, for example, face recognition or fingerprint. So, by the way, see, I have 1 phone, 2 phones, 3 phones. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to let you know that I really have so many phones. So, and I am a very a person who value privacy very much, because why I have 3 phones? First one is for university, and I don't store data there. I just use it to unlock my other application that the university asked me to do. Second phone, I use it to play game. in the most of the cases, games actually they require some permission which I don't like, including access your storage, access your contacts. So in that form, I don't have contacts, and I also don't put anything in my storage. So I give you any power you want, but you cannot get anything. My real personal phone is here. So basically, I don't install any software that require special permission. So this is what I really want to teach you. When you install any application with Google Play, you need to pay attention on the permission they are asking for. You need to consider why they need my microphone if they don't really use it as a communication tool. Why they need to use my camera if inside of the game never have that kind of photo for me to do. Why they ask my contacts. I cannot understand anything beside the social media application want to access your contact. So these are very easy things, but the other two permissions I want you to pay attention a lot. The first permission is retrieve running apps. Retrieve running apps, usually this kind of permission can only be asked by antivirus program. If any one other application asks this permission, that is very unusual. The second one is ask for battery information. You may say, battery is okay. But actually, battery information has the same label like a running app. So there is no app should access your battery information. So when you see these two permissions, you need to be very suspicious. And then there is one more permission you definitely shouldn't allow it to ask. Multicast. Multicast will be in capital word, multi, M-U-L-T-I-C-A-S-T. This permission means when you install this application in your mobile device, it can intercept any package running or sending or transmitting on your network. No matter the package is sending to your mobile phone or other computer, which means this permission allows the application to become a kind of listener. Listen what happened in your local network, and someone is using their Facebook, sending message or log in, they can intercept their password and username. So remember, these are the permissions you shouldn't allow your application to use. So now come back to your question. The keystroke dynamics is not okay. It's something like a hash value. Do you know what is hash value? Most of you probably don't know what is hash value. Hash value means when you see this kind of a text, if we hash them, we can hash everything into, for example, 48 bytes or 48 characters. Even you give me a so heavy book, when we hash it, it will become 48, only 48 characters. So there is no way from the 48 characters to restore the whole book. And the hash value is very important because even one character in this book is changed. The hash value will be totally different. Okay, now come back to your question, keystroke dynamics. So your keystroke dynamics pattern, we know that, but we cannot backtrack to you. The only timing we will know that is you is because you are here writing an exam and you have an ID. I say, oh, this is you. And And in that case, we know this pattern belongs to you. But then, if we compare to the pattern with your discussion forum posting, we will know whether or not these two are same. But we don't need to store that. We don't need to store that, right? So two things. One, when you have a keystroke dynamic pattern, we match the earlier one, and we see if that is different, and then we dispose of that. Second, we can have your pattern, and then hash to a 48 byte. And your discussion forum post, the keystroke dynamics, also hash to 48 byte. And then we compare this, and we can store this 48 byte. But it cannot track back to you because we cannot understand from the 48 byte to your keystroke dynamic pattern. So we actually don't know what that means at all. So with this kind of situation, actually we will not know what this hash code means. So actually there is no, I would say there will be less concern about privacy because we don't actually know what the hash code means. So yeah, I hope that will make you to feel better about this. Yeah. I think I addressed both of the questions, but do I? You have two questions, but I think when I answer, I have already addressed both of them. Yeah. Okay.
So let's imagine an AI engineer who wants to create a chatbot. Yeah. So where is he or she supposed to determine reliable metric of human values? For example, like critical theory, like human this department, like the moral values. Where she or maybe I should choose for determine that.
Okay. So the question is, when you create a chatbot, what kind of moral metrics you should use?
Yeah, let's imagine an engineer want to make a chatbot that aligns with human values.
Okay. What is the human value? Can you explain it a little bit?
Like for example, respect, honesty, friendship, responsibility, care.
Okay. All right. So you are imagining probably a world 15 years later, because right now we don't have anything. I would say we don't have anything that can really understand the human value in that way, but that is doable. As I said, right now all the chatbot actually is working like this one. When you say something to it, it will try to find a match behind the scene, which one has a high percentage or high statistics, and then use that to respond to you. So in that case, if we can making sure that all the candidates, they are fitting into your human value, or we can give them some kind of humanity value or degree or moral degree, then the chatbot can choose. For example, this one is very good, 100% match, but the humanity degree is 3. Not good. So I choose this 98 sentence that the humanity degree is 8. And then respond to human being. Then that is doable. But as I said, right now, the problem is who decide those back-end choice, their degree or humanity or moral label. that will require human beings to do that. On the other hand, can we train neural networks to let the neural networks say, for example, I will prepare a training data set. All of the sentences I choose, or words I choose, I will assign a label for that words, and then input into neural networks. Let the neural networks to learn this word's more degree is 9, this one is 3, this one is 1, something like that. And in that case, when I have the 98% or 100% candidate, I will send this candidate to the neural networks. And the neural networks will let me know 3. Oh, not choose. 98. Send it to neural network. 9. Oh, good. And then provide it to the user. So yes, it is doable. But right now, I don't think there is any research trying to do that yet, because sometimes a word, even in a very simple sentence, that is not good, like a discrimination or something like that. But the same word in another sentence is no discrimination. So it will be a little bit hard. And of course, I believe some people, they will do the research. But right now, myself, I haven't done anything about this. But I think in the future, you can do this. And maybe you can train a neural network model, and everyone can use that neural network and get this kind of information. But of course, you need to evaluate that, making sure this neural network is really good. So you can try to prepare a lot of sentences and send it in, and then get the value, and invite experts to either doing the match. They can even get the number, so you can compare the two numbers to see whether or not they are consistent. Or you can ask the expert group to evaluate your result. They say, oh, I agree this, I agree this, I disagree this, I disagree this. In that case, you can discuss with them why, and then try to improve your neural network. So yes, it's doable, and I believe it will become an interesting project. But yeah, right now I haven't done anything. Yeah.